confess, Father, I confess, 'cause I've been living wrong.
Hey yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Stogie T, Mr. Flow So Good, Mr. Keep Up With My What. You guys already know, man, back with you guys with another YouTube video. For those of you guys that are new to a channel, like I always say, man, please do click that red button and subscribe, and also click the bell that's next to that red button so that you get notified every time we upload a video. Now, RashidKay, who is a prominent hip-hop figure in the SA hip-hop music industry, mostly known for being organizer to Back to the City, SA Hip Hop Awards, and also just being a radio DJ, and I also think he might also be a rapper, has come out to say that he believes that Nasty C and Emtee paved the way for Stogie T to actually come into the industry. There's what he actually came out and said.
Guys, let's start side. Stogie T's verse was amazing, But there was some AK's verses. No, yeah, they were also amazing. But we had to talk about Stogie T and his verse and that. Yeah. There's this feeling going around that he was throwing shots at Ricky Rick and Casper. And Rashid, what's your opinion on that?
I agree. He was taking a shot at Ricky. How many rappers wear Gucci or rap about Gucci? Yeah. Obviously, that's Ricky. Yeah. And Mufasa, that's obvious. Casper is calling himself Mufasa. So I don't think it was necessary, man. I don't think it was necessary. You can't knock the hustle. You know, okay, he's got bars. That's it, but what else? You know, and these kids don't care about bars anymore, you know. That's why DJ Papercut once said, "Do me paved the way for a lot of rappers." But at the same time, Emtee and Nasty C paved the way for Stogie T. Yeah. Not Do Me, but Stogie T. Yeah. If it wasn't for, that's just the way it go. And by any means, these kids wouldn't know Stogie T.
100%.
You know. Yeah. So as much as he can claim that I did this, I did that for who, Nasty C and Emtee made Stogie T.
Now, I'm really not gonna lie to you guys, I really don't agree with some of the stuff that, you know, RashidKay is actually saying about these topics that these guys are actually asking him about. Because first of all, when you hear the first part of what he talks about, you guys heard that he spoke about the fact that he feels like Stogie T dissing Casper and your vest was unnecessary and he shouldn't do it. First of all, I have to come out and actually disagree with that at first, because the moment we come out and say who and who cannot be dissed in the industry, we're more or less creating demigods in the industry. We're creating certain artists that's one way or another we are saying, you know, they can't be touched, nothing can be said about them because they've achieved A, they've achieved B, which is the exact same mistake the industry made when AKA was still hot and was still the hottest artist in the industry, and Casper and your vest was going at him, and people were coming out to say, yo, Casper can't diss AKA, AKA is much bigger than him, AKA has done A, AKA has done B. It's one of those situations I look at and I'm like, yo, hip-hop is a sport, hip-hop is all about competition, and I feel like anyone can diss whomever they want so long as they are willing to maintain that same energy. And the only time I actually disagree with an artist dissing another artist is when that artist is not relevant. And I think we can all agree that 2017, 2016 years, you know, Stogie T had one of the hottest songs out at that time. He had a dope album out and an album that is relevant to this generation. So I can never come out and say that, you know, he was not relevant enough to come out firing jabs at Casper. If he wants to diss Casper or diss any other artist in the industry, he can diss them. It's competition. And also, I think it's inaccurate for us to come out and say that, you know, this generation doesn't care about bars anymore. I feel like that is not true, and it's, you know, a misunderstanding that a lot of people actually have about this generation. I don't think our generation doesn't care about bars. I just think we've expanded hip-hop a little bit to say that even if you don't have bars and you don't have such strong lyrical content, you know, there's still a place for you in hip-hop. That's why now we've got subgenres like trap, mumble rap, and so on and so forth. But to actually say that, you know, our generation doesn't care about bars, I mean, then why do we have a Nasty C being at the top right now? He came in giving the industry some bars. Why do we have, you know, an A Reese? Why do we have a Kid Dini? These are people that actually come out and rap. Just a few days back, or yesterday, I was analyzing his lyrics and telling you guys about the bars that he was giving A Reese, because clearly our generation still does care about lyrics and we still do care about bars. And then there's the part where he comes out saying that Nasty C and Emtee paved the way for Stogie T, same way Stogie T paved the way for Ricky Rick and Casper. I feel like people don't understand in our generation what it means to say you paved the way for someone. I think people misunderstood what Stogie T was saying at the SAHHA Awards. And I think people misunderstand it because people think that when somebody comes out to say that I paved the way for your success, they're actually coming out to say that they directly contributed to your success. And that is not the case. When somebody comes out and says that, yo, I paved the way for you, what they're essentially saying is because they were there in the past, you are able to do what you are doing today. I mean, that theory applies to everything in life. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about mathematics, any new mathematical theory, you know, mathematicians will tell you stands on a theory that was developed by somebody else in the past. There's nothing like I came up with a new mathematical theology or something like that. Everything comes because you took from what somebody else has done in the past, or what somebody else did in the past, you know, is the reason you're able to do what you're doing today. And normally what tends to happen is whatever the next generation develops is usually better than what the last generation did, and that is simply because they now see further than what, you know, the other generation could see. So we also are wrong to actually come out and say that, yo, Stogie must do exactly what Casper is doing, because you gotta also understand that that was a different time. There were different constraints to the constraints that are here today. Some of these artists are able to get the brand deals that they get today because there were people in the past that used to fight to make sure that, you know, brands do make sure that they actually mess with the hip-hop culture. And obviously that artist will not achieve the same success as you. To them it was a big success to get a brand deal, but to you it's now easy. You easily get the brand deal, so obviously you're going to achieve more, as you should. You should actually achieve more than what the previous generation achieved, because, you know, things are now much easier for you. You don't have to hustle as hard to actually get those things done. You don't have to hustle as hard to get on radio. Hip-hop is now a staple food. There was a time South Africa didn't mess with hip-hop. So it's one of those situations I look at and I'm like, people must not misunderstand what Stogie T was saying, and in misunderstanding it, they are misinterpreting the whole situation. What happened between Nasty C, Emtee and Stogie T is not the same as what Stogie T was saying. Emtee and Nasty C directly contributed to Stogie T's career. So I would actually come out and say that those guys, you know, kept Stogie T hot one way or another, because Stogie T was already here way before them. I can't say that they paved the way for him. So it's one of those situations I'm also looking at and I'm like, I think it's a misunderstanding of, you know, the whole thing of paving the way and keeping someone hot. Okay, they just kicked him hot, and let's take nothing away from Stogie T. Okay, he had songs like Hello Kitty that were somewhat relevant, and I would be lying if I said that our generation didn't know, you know, I mean, we would be essentially saying that there was no reason, you know, reason wasn't relevant. We would be essentially saying that Ricky Rick when it first came out wasn't relevant. We would be essentially saying Ginger Trill wasn't relevant, and, you know, that would be actually a lie. Stogie T, you know, was here, but I will agree with the fact that they actually made him hot, you know, in this generation. But you guys leave me a comment in the comment section, letting me know what you think about the situation. Do you guys agree with RashidKay's opinions on this topic? Leave me a comment and definitely subscribe. Awesome. Now wait, Emtee, I know you wanna go, but click that red button and subscribe and put some respect on a younger name, man. Awesome.